Opiate dependence and overdose is a escalating problem that has really reached epidemic proportions here in the United States. The emergency department is often the place where patients with opiate dependence seek their care. So it makes sense that this would be the place that we would try to screen and intervene for this very significant problem. Our study was trying to identify patients with opiate dependence and to look at different models of treatment. This was a randomized controlled trial. It started in 2009, in the spring of 2009, and extended through till June of 2013. We were able to enroll 329 patients during that period and randomize them to one of the three groups. The first model was just identifying, screening the patient and referring them to a community service for treatment. The second model was screening and then providing a brief intervention to motivate them to seek care and to facilitate a direct referral to a community service treatment. The third model was to actually screen, provide the brief intervention to motivate them to accept treatment, and then to initiate that treatment in the emergency department by providing buprenorphine at that moment and referring for primary care for a 10-week course of maintenance therapy. They were complicated patients in that many of them had used other drugs. 55% used cocaine, over almost 50% used cannabis, and almost just about that used sedatives of some sort. 50% of them ascribed to having some treatment for a psychiatric treatment in their lifetime, and about 23% of them required an acute evaluation for a psychiatric problem at the time of their ED visit. About 80% of our patients that were in the buprenorphine group were engaged in treatment at 30 days. And that was compared to the standard referral group where there was about 37%, and those that received the brief intervention on a facilitated referral were engaged around 45%. So you can see almost twice as many patients in the buprenorphine group were still engaged in treatment at 30 days. In addition, we found that those patients who were in the buprenorphine group were much less likely to use inpatient addiction services. Only 11% were inpatient, whereas in the other group, they were more likely to be an inpatient, around 35% of those patients. One could see that there would be less cost involved if we could keep people in the outpatient services. Providing ED-initiated buprenorphine and referral to primary care improved patients' engagement in treatment at 30 days and decreased their illicit opiate use. Less people were in treatment, less people used inpatient treatment in the buprenorphine group than in the other two groups combined. And this then provides another opportunity for engaging people in treatment in opiate dependence, which has really reached epidemic proportions. Our next steps is to expand this study beyond the one site that we have used here at Yale New Haven Hospital. Buprenorphine does require special training and a waiver from the FDA in order to prescribe it, which does set some barriers up. We are, as emergency physicians, able to give out a dose in the emergency department to decrease withdrawal symptoms and to refer. However, in order to prescribe more than that, we do need a waiver, so that there are some barriers that still need to be overcome, and we still need to know whether or not this will work in multiple settings.